Good afternoon, everyone. It is Sunday, July the 4th. A special thank you to each one of our men and women inside of our military services. A special thank you to all of our ancestors who fought for this country. As we go through the world's worst financial crisis, I get asked on this channel a lot about the negativity of what is happening and how preparing for those events is a negative thought process. But I want to break that ideal, and I want to tell you that it's not. You see behind me, the pool that my wife is enjoying is 8,000 gallons of independence. That's 8,000 gallons. If you use 1 gallon per person per day, I have 8,000 days of water there. Now you have to ask yourself, what sort of negativity is enjoying that beautiful pool behind me? You see, it's dual purpose. You have a vehicle and you might enjoy driving your vehicle. You might enjoy taking a long ride. Putting on a seatbelt is not negativity. Putting on a seatbelt is not focusing on the fact that people do die every single day in car accidents. All it is a recognition of the fact that people do lose their lives to terrible accidents, and you don't want to be like them. We are going through the world's worst financial crisis, a social crisis in the United States of America that may one day again bring fighting inside of this country on a level, on a scale that you and your family have never seen before. You think the unrest of the summer of 2020 was bad? Just wait if things get worse in the country today. And so I want you to think about how you can celebrate your independence from the grid, your independence from control measures, your independence from water reserve needs. And how you can do that is one of the ways that I have behind me. Kelly and I made the decision. We saved and saved and saved because, like many of you, the financial crisis has hit us particularly hard. And so what we're doing is saving, helping family when we can, donating to others when we can. But the projections are nothing like they were in the year 2019. They may get worse in the year 2022. And I know that all of our buying power is getting worse. So we saved and saved, and we actually sold a couple of things, and we purchased this pool behind us because it is, number one, an enjoyment feature for my family. My 2 boys love getting inside the pool with us. We have a great time inside there. They swim around, they have a good time. But in the back of my head, in the back of my wife's head, and as we talk to our children, where would you go get water at? The pool outside. And that makes perfect sense. Well, it has chlorine in it. How would you filter that out? The Berkey inside. Makes perfect sense. What would you do if you didn't have that Berkey? A sand filter. Absolutely. There's these things that we don't have to focus on the negativity to know that we can enjoy life the way it is while still being prepared, while still acknowledging the responsibility that we have. Let me know in the comment box if you have some ideas on how you can enjoy life today, but still prepare for tomorrow. Patrick over at Breakaway Homesteader, he sent me some pictures yesterday through a text. We're friends outside of YouTube. He sent me some pictures of his family canning the corn, getting the garden ready, getting the actual reaping the reward from all of the work that they have put into the garden, having family over and getting together. What an enjoyable experience that is. I sat out here last night with Kelly and our friend, our group member of ours, Dave, and we talked about the well and the features that we have here and what we're doing to build together and the future what the future holds for us. And what an enjoyable experience that is. Right off to my right shoulder, about 200 feet away, is a campsite where Kelly and I spend evenings around a fire. It's been a particularly cool summer here at the southern end of the Appalachian Trail, and we enjoy having that fire. We enjoy the time that we spend together because, yeah, you don't want to get as close to it as you might have in the winter, but it's still enjoyable. The smoke keeps the bugs away because just like when you think about people who harvest honey, they use smokers, right? What does that do? It keeps the bees away. They don't like to be inside of it. It has other functions on insect health and small animal health. And so they move away from it. And we use that same mechanism here at our campsite to keep the mosquitoes, to keep the bugs away from us. We enjoy that time. The campsite has a beautiful hammock in it. The campsite has some camp chairs that we have made and that we use. And it's not perfect. We have cinder block, concrete block, mixed with natural rocks that we have found in our area. We just make the best of everything that we have. And that's what I ask of you and your family. What do you have available to you to enjoy the life that you are given, enjoy the time that you have here on this earth, but still keep that measure of preparedness. And in keeping that measure of preparedness, you will be ready for exactly what is coming down the pipeline in the next couple of years. Look at what we're facing today. Ransomware, hacking attacks that are shutting down parts of our normal day-to-day life. Your ability to go to the pharmacy, your ability to get groceries, the ability for the packing plants to get the food to your grocery store, shutting down electricity. You've got an overreaching act of private organizations that are turning up your electricity, turning up the temperature in your house so that they can save on their grid. You have a drought that is taking place all across the United States of America, and in doing so, it is making crops fail. It is making food harder to get to your table to feed your family. So that 8,000 gallons behind me, we have a family of 4. Each person's going to use around a gallon a day, and then you're going to use a couple of gallons to wash with. You're going to use a couple of gallons to maybe shower with. And you're going to have to treat your washing, your showering, all of those things as if water is as scarce as it is in reality. And so that still provides us with a year of water. Now, I know what you might be thinking, because I thought the same thing when we talked about it. I said, okay, well, if I'm the enemy, if I'm the bad guy, I'm just going to plug that thing full of holes. And that's okay, because our next plan is to build a deck around the top of it, and inside of that deck we're going to put sandbags, and we're going to add some defensive measures to it. Well, what if somebody gets over top of it? We're on the top of a hill, but let's just say somebody climbed a tree and shot into it and poked a hole that way. What would I do? Well, I have waterproof, that kind of flex tape that you see the guy just slap a 50-gallon barrel underwater, stops the leak. I have some of that in reserve. We have other patching tools in reserve, and so we're going to make the best use out of it. Well, what if you don't have power? Well, that's where another step of our preparedness comes in. I want you guys to come with us and see what that is. Okay, so not just 100 feet away from the pool, we have what is our newest addition in our preparedness. And this is something that has really given me not just peace of mind, but an enjoyment, because, you know, it brings you back to an era, a time when you didn't have electricity, a time when you didn't have that reliance on the grid, but you were still able to use the things that you needed to get water up to your house and to your family. So this is our newest addition, and we were just testing it out yesterday with some soap, cleaning some of it with some alcohol. This is the hand well pump that we have. It's a Bison pump. It's from Lehman's, and it is something that goes alongside of our submersible pump, the pump that's in our well, and it allows us, and let me make sure the cap is off here, and I haven't used it since yesterday, so it'll probably take just a couple of pumps and we start getting some water out. Now let me tell you, this water is freezing cold, but if I have to, I'm going to go and fill up our pool bucket by bucket and still have that ability to use the water directly from our well without electricity. Now I can use the aerator, I can use the pump. We have solar, the solar will power the pump. We have generators, the generators are dual fuel, they're propane and they're gasoline. They will power the submersible pump, it'll pump water up to the house. That's all fine and great, but that comes with its own flaws, and 2 is 1, 1 is none. You're going to need redundancy because things are going to break. You're going to have failures no matter where you're at, whether it's a pipeline burst, and you see we're just reburying some new pipe here. You could have somebody shoot out the aerator, which would make that unusable. You could have all of these different issues come up, and then you'd have to go turn on your well at one point in time, get the water that you need, fill up everything, and then turn it back off. It would have its own nuances in a disaster, in a crisis. But we're not there today. We're not there yet. So it's in our plans. And don't get overwhelmed by everything. Like our plan, like I said, is to put sandbags around the outside pool, build a deck over top of the sandbags so that just in case anybody was to take that sort of position against us in a long duration emergency, we would have some degree of fail-safe there. Let's just say something happens and we have a critical failure. Well, next we have our hand pump, and let's say something happens there and we have a critical failure. Next, it's going to be a long trek. It's not one that I am going to enjoy at all, but we have water down at the end of our property, as much water as we can use year round, but getting it the 200 and probably 250 feet up from the water to here is nothing short of a disaster in its own right. So while there's gas, our plan is to, if we don't have access to any of this, we have some access to water that is right down the street from us. Go down there and get it using the vehicles, using the cars. If that doesn't work, we have everything else in redundancy here. So that's what I kind of want to break, that idea that you have to be scared to be prepared. Break that idea that you can't enjoy life while you're being prepared, while you're wearing that seatbelt. And that's not what this is about. This is about accepting responsibility, enjoying the days that we have, the days that we are given. Seeing my wife play in the pool, seeing my children play in the pool brings a joy to my heart that nothing else can match. I don't want to go watch a movie and watch some overpaid actor repeat some lines that are meant to drive my emotions. That to me is not a good time. I don't want to go watch other people, watch overpaid sports players push a ball along a field, making millions of dollars and still being jerkholes their entire life. And everybody glorifies these jerks for what they do. There's very few, just like there's very few good, heart-filled politicians. We glorify these people, and that doesn't bring joy to my heart. Watching my wife play in the pool, watching the kids play in the pool, watching the rabbits run around the grass, the chickens lay some eggs, hatch them out, that sort of thing brings joy to my heart. And I hope that it does for you and your family too, and I hope that you don't get stuck in that trap where people tell you it's all negativity. No, it's not. It's a realization of the fact. You see, back in our history, every day you went outside the cave, every day that somebody had to go hunt, go fish, there could be disaster at the end of that day. That's just from natural, wild elements. What about all the people during war, where you had to go out and you had to do these things, but another clan, another group, whatever it might be, would attack your group? That's a fear every day. But it's also a reality. You see, we don't live in that reality. I have relative safety here. I have the ability to use my own security tools. I have video cameras, motion alarms, my own security defense tools that offer me an extended level of protection. I have all these things. Family who keeps a watch. We have an offset sleep schedule. So we have people who are always there, always watching. We have alarms that go off. You can check the alarm. Just last night, we had a pack of dogs come up. And so Kelly and I sent a picture from our video cameras to the neighbors, to our group members, saying, hey, just keep an eye out. If you've got small dogs, if you've got your cats out, there's a pack of dogs coming through, because our alarm went off, looked on the camera, saw it wasn't a human, still went, checked it out. They took off, got a picture of it, sent it to friends and family and said, hey, just keep an eye out. That gave them a heads up. That's the sort of reality that we live in, where we can be prepared, enjoy life, enjoy each other, and enjoy every day that we are given. I hope that you guys enjoyed your time with us here. I want to thank you for spending just a small part of your July 4th, if you're in America, here with us, of your day, if you're outside of America, here with me and my family. Hope you enjoyed watching Kelly in the pool. Pretty soon you'll get to see the kids in the pool. We have a great time here. I hope that you will take these small steps in your own life to get into your own backyard and camp, to get into your own pool and enjoy some time and do these things. No matter whether you're in an apartment, if you're in an apartment, you've got a pool ready for you. Nobody else in that complex, very few people, are going to know what to do to get water from that chlorinated pool water in the event of a disaster, but you do. You might use that even if you're not an apartment, and you might mark some apartment pools on your water availability list, on your map. You can do these things. Get into your backyard and camp. Think about the things that you have given to you, and let's make use of them to have an enjoyable life. From my family to yours, please stay safe, remain vigilant, happy 4th, and keep watch.